Oh,
we
welcome
definitely
to
aren't recording the same episode again. The Men Who Chased Geese.
Okay, this is called
LightSaber Lost.
which I contend to be one of the better episodes you'll see, period, one-shot episodes of the entire Clone Wars series. And it's backed up by the fact that it does have a kind of a cult following. A little bit of a cult following. It does. As far among
What kind of fucking cult? The cult that kills themselves?
No.
Drink the Kool-Aid, guys.
People like
LightSaber
it.
Lost is the
People
best
like it.
episode.
People like it because it's kind of a light episode compared to a lot of the heavier elements.
In TV business, this is called filler. It was a crap episode, the worst that has ever been made during this season or past season, which includes Bounty Hunters, which was pretty bad, as both
including
of us agree.
Including season 1, episode 1?
Yes.
No, episode 1 was terrible.
Which means LightSaber Lost is even worse, so let's buckle up.
Okay, well, let me go first, because you're an idiot. One, LightSaber Lost is one of the best episodes, single-shot episodes done of the entire series. Here's why. One, it gives you the ability to see the Republic as it was. You know, it just kind of and how things were interacted, how the Jedi were seen, and how the Jedi were respected, and that and I said I'm an older guy, and I get tired of always through most of my life, as I told one person, the Jedi are always on the run. They're always on the run. They're always on the run. But in fact, throughout most of the history of the Republic, they were actually not on the run. They were part of the establishment. So it's nice that I can see them that way for a change. And I like that. I like the film noir aspect of this whole thing, which it had. And just so you understand, the two women involved, they were written. If you look at the notes, they were written to be lovers. So they killed this bad guy and try to sell the lightsaber.
Run away together
to make the money to run away together. I like Sinube, who made this first appearance, but he's made other appearances later on, minor appearances, and he shows Ahsoka patience. Ahsoka's very rude to him, by the way. She insults him. She is, but he shows her patience, and you think he's a comical idiot, and he's not. He actually is very smart, and he's the one who gets it solved. In the end, he finds the criminals. He's the one who really gets them and catches them and everything else. He does all these things. There's also the two girls, their facial, the way they read their faces is just fantastic. They have one who blinks in a weird way. The other who has his mask over her face. But they're really interesting faces to look at, regardless of anything else. And I really liked those. It was interesting. And they have great chase scene, and I mean a great chase scene between the mask-wearing female and Ahsoka. And it was a nice chase. It was a physical chase. It was a nice, lasted several minutes. I really liked it a lot. So, and of course, the question is, you see Ahsoka, she's worried because, of course, she said, she's worried because Anakin always tells her, don't lose this. This is your life. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Lose it. She loses it. And also, she then has to deal with a moral question, which she doesn't answer, really, which is that, if that lightsaber, that weapon, is used to commit a crime or to kill someone, is Ahsoka responsible?
Yes.
And Sinube says, well, that's for you to puzzle out. He doesn't give her the answer. She has to figure that out for herself. And she never answers it at this episode exactly. She'll maybe learn it later on. But she doesn't answer that question. She's faced with it, but she doesn't have to solve it because Sinube comes in and saves the day. But she doesn't have to face that reality. But she could have, and then she would have to face that question if she was responsible for it or not. I personally don't think she would be responsible, but that's me. He thinks she is because he's a dick. So I give it a 5 out of 5. Again, brilliant episode. I really enjoyed it. I can watch it many times, and I have actually watched it several times. It has a lot of wonderful pacing. I love the film noir. I just love the whole thing. I love the it's kind of almost like a mystery at one point, which is kind of nice. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a light episode. It showed the Republic. It was nice. And I'm a nice guy, and I think and that's why I liked it. You're a jackass, and that's how you are. So that's how it is. So that's what I said. I'm done. 5 out of 5. Very good.
All right. So we'll start with counterpointing his things. The Jedi are in disarray at this point because not only is everyone scared of Jedis, they are no longer peacekeepers. They are no longer seen as peacekeepers. In fact, Anakin walks into the building and you hear the zoom of the lightsaber starting, and every single person runs out.
How's it go again?
So you can attribute that to someone going into a nightclub and shooting. So obviously, someone isn't going to, respect a peacekeeper or a policeman who goes into a nightclub and shoots somebody, because of course that scares every single person in the room. So Anakin is, setting this terrible example that Ahsoka is like, oh, I'm gonna follow the same thing. So she like grabs her lightsaber and she sees a couple of menacing people, and so she kind of like brandishes it. She's like, look out for me! I got this gun right here. I'm gonna, don't come on me because I'm a Jedi.
Well, she does get like when she finds the one thief that had picked her pocket for that. She does get very Anakin on him.
Yes.
She gets really Anakin on him.
Because she wants to be Anakin, and she doesn't realize that there's limits that even Anakin is taking, and she just sees him as this badass at this moment. So she's trying to be Anakin when Anakin isn't even there. So she's taking these things, and she's not even telling Anakin what happened, because she's like, oh, Anakin wouldn't understand, or Anakin would be too mad at me. So she realizes
she was afraid he was mad she'd kill her.
Exactly. She was so afraid of her own mentor that she's not willing to like admit things to him, which is terrible, because they're supposed to have this bond, and yet she's going to keep secrets from him. So instead, she tells a librarian and a total stranger. Meanwhile, the library is completely vacant. There's only one guy, and he's sleeping. So that shows you how well these peacekeepers are keeping the peace in the city, because they're out doing their war thing, and no one is caring to learn or do anything else. And so Sanube is introduced as this old man. So of course, the typical thing to runt kids is to call old people old, and she just completely shits on him, which is incredibly disrespectful. And I don't think even Anakin would go to some old people and just say you're old.
Yeah, he would.
So that was just unnecessary in every way. The one thing that I didn't like was, they are force sensitive. Every Jedi has this power to sense people that
I was going to mention that.
Force power. And Sanube is talking about being able to sense anxiety. And so with this part, it's like, okay, you can sense emotion in people, but you can't sense that the one person in the room that is actually anxious or crying or all these things, she is faking this, because those aren't her real emotions. She's just scared that she's going to get caught. And yet he can't sense that, so he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna, let her figure out this shit. And you go into the next room, and lo and behold, there's the other one. And of course, the character models are incredibly well done, I'll give you that. Star Wars has made amazing people and creations and creators that just keep your eye on them. But that doesn't make them worthwhile characters, because both of them were ugly, so of course, nobody's going to root for them. So in this sense, yeah, they're going to be the ones that are bad, because ugly people are bad. So like me, I'm the bad one, and he's the bad one, and everyone is just like, okay, there's something wrong with this person with the slit eyes. She just seems skeptical. So the noir aspect was there. Yes, he figures it out. He deduces that they're a lovers' quarrel and trying to sell the lightsaber, and that's all neat and stuff. But the chase scene doesn't make any sense, because the assassin person takes down the elevator, and Ahsoka just jumps off. She lands after somersaulting. I'm not a space physicist, but that would break every single bone in your ankles. And, you can wave that off and say, oh, Jedis have amazing, acrobatics and shit, and they can do that stuff. And, there's a hostage on the train, and so, of course, Ahsoka's bad at negotiating, because all she sees is Anakin, and Anakin's ways are like, tell me what I need to know, and all this shit. So she tries it on her, and of course it doesn't work, because she's the one holding the lightsaber, and she's like, no, as soon as I take you as a hostage, you're just going to do some Jedi mind shit. And like Sal said, Sanube comes in, saves the day for her. That's not a lesson learned. That's literally her not listening to Sanube, and Sanube being like, look, my way worked, you fucked up.
No, so she learns. She learns patience, because she teaches it at the end of the episode. She teaches it.
No, what she teaches is your lightsaber is your life, and it's a big responsibility, which is the exact same thing Anakin taught her.
Stop.
Which is the part where she specifically said, Anakin has told me this stuff. I can't go to him. So of course, why would you teach Padawans that if you just learned about patience and acceptance and all these things? Because she's taking this big responsibility to teach younglings problems with a lightsaber, but you worded it in such a way that it sounds exactly the same way.
She said, but then she said there was more. Then the show faded away. She was going to teach them about patience as well. Yes,
she does not know about patience.
She was going to teach them about patience. That's why Sunube was
You would have Sunube teach them about patience.
No, you wanted her to do it because she learned a lesson.
Because she lost her lightsaber like an idiot.
Yes, but she learned the lesson.
And it would be her fault if someone died, because that's just like losing a gun and not blaming the person to not locking up the gun. It was a bad episode. 1 out of 5.
Listen, it was a fantastic episode. 5 out of 5.
Filler. Nothing ever comes of Sunube.
Excellent story.
They never come back to this.
Well, Sunube comes back. He is a minor character. Nothing amazing. Anyway, so listen to me, listen to him. And that's how it is. So next time we're going to do the Mandalorian arc, the Mandalorian plot, the Voyage of Temptation, and the Duchess of Mandalore. That white bitch. That's how it is on this day in the news. So there we go. I'm tired. Anyways, there we go.
You did like this episode.
I'm sleepy. So there we go.
Bye.